All right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Some comics. I'm getting controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with
my proudest moment is this interview and being able to talk to you two.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kyrun. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kyrun. Oh wait, what happened? What happened? What happened, Kyrun? You were there 1 second and then you left. What happened?
Thank you, Danny J. Quick, for that. Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you want to do the intro?
Not anymore, because you just ruined my flow. So no, I don't want to do the intro. Screw that. Hell no. That's how you doing, Danny?
I'm doing good, man. How does it feel to be 35?
It's good. I feel like I'm 25, so I'm good. I'm good.
That's good.
Any chance you heard from our guest? Ooh. You okay over there? You sound like you're about to be blown away by the tornado.
Did you hear that?
Can
you hear that in the microphone?
Yes,
oh my goodness.
Yes.
Dang on thunderstorm just broke out here in North Carolina. It's good because I'm going to say the oldest thing in the world. We needed the rain. But the thunder and the wind is going crazy right now. So I apologize to our viewers if you can hear the thunder in the background. I'll keep myself on mute. Thank you all for the happy birthdays coming in for dear old Kyrun in the chat. He is now. How old are you really, Kyrun?
I told you I'm 34.
No, you're not. You're not 34. I know that because I know that you're older than me, and I'm 38.
Okay, I'm 39 then.
Okay, well, happy 39th birthday, Kyrun. Happy 39th birthday.
That's all we'll say. I'm 39 plus a couple years.
Good stuff, man. Oh, Sean says you're 44. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. Sean would know. Sean would know for sure.
Sean's wrong then. I don't even know who that is. Sean Terry.
Sean knows all. Sean knows all.
All right.
So today we're supposed to have on a special guest, Marvel, DC Comics, Image Comics, Wildstorm Comics legend Ryan Benjamin. He's having some technical issues right now, but in the meantime, we're gonna keep trying to get him on. But in the meantime, let's catch up, man. How long ago? When was the last time I saw you? 7 days ago.
Yeah, 7 days ago. Okay, y'all need to stop this lie. I'm not 44 years old. Stop that. Hey. I am not 44 years old. Wait, is he on? Hold on.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
There he is.
There we go.
Mr. Ryan Benjamin, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I was just having some technical problems.
No, you're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. We appreciate you jumping on with us.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my camera to work. The camera's not even working right. I'm not sure what the problem is.
Technology, it's
yeah.
It's one of those things depending on the platform, depending on the the permissions and all that stuff. So we're happy we can hear you and this is perfect for us. Let me do a quick intro for anybody in our audience who just happens to not know your full history. Real quick, Mr. Ryan Benjamin is a professional artist who started his career in comics in 1994 with Image Comics, which later branched off to become Wildstorm Comics. He continues to work in the comic book industry with companies such as Marvel, DC Comics, Dark Horse, Acclaim, and Valiant. His works include top-selling comics like Brothers Bond, Wildcats, Grifter, X-Men, Star Wars, Spawn, and many, many more. Mr. Ryan has been in comics for almost 30 years and has a variety of work as an artist designer, also in video games. You can see his work in DC Universe Online, Marvel MOBA, as well as one of my favorite games, Marvel Snap. Welcome to the show, Mr.
Wait,
Ryan Benjamin.
we need to wait before we get into. Okay, can we stop these lies of my birthday and how old I am today? I'm not 58. Y'all need to stop that.
If you would tell people how old you are, they could stop lying. Until you know how the internet works, we're
I'm
gonna
gonna tell you
just
I'm
make up stuff.
34, and we're gonna leave it like that.
But we know that's a lie, Kyrun. We can see the amount of gray in your beard. We know you're not 34.
All right. Sorry about that, Mr. Benjamin. Mr.
It's
Ryan
all
Benjamin,
good.
how are you doing today?
I am doing okay. I'm doing okay. I apologize. My camera's not working. I'm still trying to get it to work, but I'll keep working on the camera behind the scenes. So
It's all right.
we can still talk. I can multitask.
Absolutely.
All right.
No, Javon, I'm not 62 either. Damn.
I told you.
So thank you for being on, especially Ryan. You're early in the morning. You're actually the same time zone I am. So thank you for waking up this early for this.
It's no problem. I'm always up around 4 in the morning anyway.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is
I'm
I'm an early riser.
No, thank you. I don't want to be up at 4 in the morning.
I keep telling Kyrun, if you want to be successful in comics, you got to get up at 4 a.m. You gotta go to the gym and work out and pump the iron, and then you gotta start drawing at 4:30 and don't stop until 8 p.m. if you want. No, I have no clue. I just write. So.
No, you were right. You were right.
No,
you were absolutely right. I'm not playing. What you just said was literally what I do. I wake up around 4. I go to the gym. I come back. It's peace. It's like so much. You have like 3 hours of just like peace, and it's you time. So I love it.
Yeah, actually, I know a good amount of people that wake up only to work out early in the morning because it is so quiet, and that may be why I'm fat. I just don't want to wake up that early.
I had a whole time in my life when I was with the military for 12 years that I couldn't help but get up at 4:30 in the morning, and then as soon as I got out of the military, I said I'm never doing that again. So now about 5 or 6 o'clock is about the earliest I can get up nowadays. So, but I do like, I know for myself, me and my wife, we started going to the gym, and if I don't do it first thing in the morning, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen for me. So that's definitely a great plan.
All right, well, yeah, that's what I do. I've been actually I did it for a couple of reasons, just to change up my work routine, because when I was younger, I used to do the standard artist thing, which is you work till about 3-4 in the morning, and you go to sleep, and then you wake up at 7, and then you start your day all over again. And as I got older, I realized, okay, it's time for me to make that change. I need to look out for my health a little bit more. I need to get to sleep a little bit earlier. I need to get more hours of sleep, and I need a little bit more peace in my life. So I actually shifted gears around that, and just so that's basically what I do.
Yeah, I think as I'm getting older, also the balance of sleep to work ratio has definitely balanced out more. I know Mr. Fishley in the comments, he was, before we even started, he was saying he hadn't slept all night. I'm sure he was up working, because Fish is one of the fastest pens in the West, as we call him.
Fishley was up all night because he was excited about Ryan being on our show. That's why.
Yes, that
he just couldn't sleep.
That too. So between the two, I definitely agree with you. It's best to get some sleep, and have your mind in the right place, so that you can focus and get that work done. So
yep,
absolutely. So if you could you run us through, I know I did the dissertation, I've read the about page from your website, that's where I got all that information from, but just tell us about your start in comics with Image, and how you decided that you wanted to be in comics, and kind of how you got into comics.
Yeah, so I started comics I've told a story about 300 times already. I don't mind saying it again. Um, I was the typical college student who, went to college, graduated college, and still had nothing to do. Couldn't find a job, anything like that. So I decided to go back to school. And then when I went back to school, that's when I realized the opportunity that, hey, I have a chance that I can draw comics. So I quit school. I was like, I already graduated. I have a degree. I don't need to keep going. So I just quit school and I just sat at home and I just practiced drawing comics until I got the job. But back then, we're talking about, this was 1993. So so some of you guys listening weren't even born yet. And I heard you guys were like ragging on the 50s. It's okay to be 50. 50 is like the new 30, the new 30. I'm actually 52 right now, but I don't even feel it. But anyway, I kept practicing and practicing. And then eventually I got that call. Jim Lee actually gave me the call.
Ooh.
And it was weird. I was sitting at home just drawing, and my phone rang, and this, I'm talking about like the old phones with the cord, the home phones, one of those.
The
So
receiver and everything.
yeah. So I picked him up. I was a dinosaur back then. So I picked him up. I answered the phone. It was Jim Lee, and I'm like, wow, this is Jim Lee. This is crazy. I'm talking to Jim, and he was like, yeah, I want you to come work in my studio. I hung up the phone. I immediately ran to my local comic shop where I used to hang out all the time. I busted through the door, and my first thing I said is, I'm going to go work for Image Comics. And everyone stopped, and everyone was looking at me like, what? But I knew everyone in the store. It was crazy. It was like my hangout spot. There was like Street Fighter games, and we used to go there and hang out and just talk comics and just goof around. I knew the owner, everything, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. Now I'll be honest. And I'm a fanboy a little bit because when you burst onto the scene, I was about 12, 13-year old.
Mm,
And I saw your work and I was like, this dude is dope, man. He's got amazing skills. But then I saw a picture, I think it was like in Wizard. And
mm.
I'll be honest, I was like, my man is black. And as a black young artist, I was like, I didn't see any other black creators out there. I think at that point there was like you, maybe Daryl Banks, I think Chuck Jones. There weren't like a lot of us as black artists, so you were like an inspiration for me to keep trying to draw. I didn't get to your level at any point, but you were like one of those people I saw. I was like, okay, as a black creator, because back then, being someone that was African American and liking comics was usually looked down upon in a lot of our communities. So you seeing yourself and others like you, I was like, I can do this. I can make comics. There are others like me out there. I could do that. So were there people like that you looked up to before you got into comics that made you really want to push and do this?
Larry Stroman.
Yep, Larry Trump. I forgot about Larry. Yep.
He was one. Actually, there wasn't that. It's not that many. But he was definitely the top one. I would look at his work, but this was before I came into comics. So I would look at his work and I would study the heck out of it. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
this guy is like amazing. I want to draw like this one day. That type of thing. So and then when I actually came into the studio, there were other blacks that came in with me. Matt Broom came in.
Oh,
And then and Sean Ruffner, he was already there.
yeah.
And in fact, Sean and I went to college together, which is kind of crazy.
Didn't you and
Um,
Sean do a book together?
yep, we did Phantom Guard, we
That's
did
right.
we did Vagabond, and we had a couple others that we had lined up, and Sean just kind of lost motivation to work on them. So I'm like, come on, Sean, let's keep going. So, but it never came out. But there was more. J. Kirby, he was in there too. He
Mm.
was over at Wildstorm. And you know, couple of Filipino guys that were kind of almost black too. Like, hey, what's up, yo? It
I
was
work with
pretty
some
cool though.
guys like that right now.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I want to ask you about that comic book store experience. I know for me, even now, in 2023, there's a
Mhm.
comic book store that I go to. It's 30 minutes from my house, and same thing. I know pretty much everybody. I know everybody that works there for sure.
Mhm.
And if I go on the right day of the week, I might know half of the people in the store shopping. Um, and I get a lot of inspiration as a person who wants to create comics. Um, from those people that love those stories and that love this genre of storytelling as comics. So,
Mhm.
what was it like for you to be able to share that news with the people who you hung out with? Was that one of the highlights of your career, or do you just look back at it as, yo, this was a stepping stone to get to the next thing? And do you still know any of those people?
Oh yeah, I know a lot of them. One of the guy, like the guy who owns the store, he was co-owner. His name is Joe Mon. He lives in Miami. I still talk to him. I literally just spoke to him 2 days ago, three days ago. So we still talk to this day. Um, uh, there's a couple other people that was in the store that I haven't really seen or in a while. Brett Booth, he was another classmate of mine, and he would visit that store from time to time. But he didn't really hang out there all the time, but he would come in. Um, and then um, yeah, I mean, like yeah. There's another guy, Travis Williams. He's actually still good friends with me today. But he's big time now. He's not even in comics anymore. He's like into like video games now. He's over at Meta right now, and
Okay.
he's one of the top directors over there. So he's doing his thing, you know. So
Yeah.
and he's a brother too, you know. So he's doing
That's
his
awesome.
thing.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of comic book artists when they are no longer in the industry, they seem to jump to either to storyboarding or video game design. It feels like nowadays. Do you see that a lot also?
Very common. That's something I do. I still do to this day. I when I came in, I started. I feel like no, I know comic books is sort of like the medium of art. Because once you learn comics or once you tap into comics and you start going in that direction, you can pretty much branch off in any direction. You can go into video games, you can go into concept art, you can go wherever, in that direction. So it's kind of like the Muay Thai. Anybody who knows martial arts, it's kind of like the Muay Thai or like the MMA of uh of art, because basically once you have that ground base, you can incorporate other styles in there, especially like with Muay Thai. When I used to train, I would train, and then I would implement taekwondo. I would implement some kempo. I'd implement some jiu-jitsu, a little bit of everything in there. So it's kind of like that, like the medium. So once I came in, I started working and when I was working in comics, I started to I was introduced into the opportunity to do some concept art for a video game company. So I went in and I started doing concept art for this game company, and then I realized, oh wow, well, they actually do all this 3D and this and that, and I was already learning a little bit of 3D, so I started to expand even more, and I'm learning 3D at home. I was also learning from at work, and I was still drawing cable at the same time. I was still drawing all this. I'm a monster. I'm a beast. So I was still
Mhm.
drawing comics at the same time I was working at this video game company, just concepting. I think I worked on Star Wars, at the same time. Yeah, I actually did. I worked on Star Wars at the same time I was there doing that. Um, and then eventually it just kind of grew and grew and grew, and then I started doing some other work for other video game companies, and then it turned into animation. I started doing work for animation studios. I was doing storyboards for the Ultimate Spider-Man. I did stuff for Mega Man. I did stuff for
You see how he's just dropping all these things? Like I did this, I did that. You know, like no, let me just brush my shoulders off on that.
Everything that you love. I've drawn all of it.
pretty much. I did stuff for Thundercats, the TV show. I did that. I did not the old one, the newer ones, the newer animated versions. Tons of TV shows. I did stuff for Man of Steel, the movie, the Justice League. Um, what else did I do? Couple others. I'm all over the place, man.
Right. We do have a couple of questions here in the
Yep, go ahead.
in our live stream here. We have a live stream question from this is Giacomo. He says, "Can I ask Ryan what is the most important behavior to get the attentions of majors?" I'm assuming major publishers.
Okay. Probably I get this a lot. I actually teach I don't know if I'm gonna put a little bit of plug in there.
Feel free to.
I teach at a Comic Pro boot camp where we teach professional comic art, and during the classes the students ask me the same thing all the time. So I share this information a lot. But basically, when I came in, it was completely different from today. Back then, I had the highest technology we had was pagers. That was it. So there's nothing you can do with a pager other than text codes and say I love you or whatever. So basically,
you're either a doctor or a drug dealer if you had a pager back in the day.
Exactly, back in the day. Exactly. So so basically, the best way back then we should do it was all the groundwork, all the footwork. Get a portfolio ready, show up at shows, present your shows, present your art to the editors and the directors and the people you want to show your work to. But today it's different. Today we have social media. Okay, everyone's on social media. Everyone has like not necessarily a Facebook. I think like Facebook's for like old folks now, but everyone has an Instagram. Everyone has a TikTok. Everyone has all these different things where these other forms where you can plug your artwork into it. So if you put your artwork up in there, people will see it and then they will contact you. But you can't just put like just any random stuff up there. You have to kind of put like really your absolute best. You have to put the cream of the crop, the absolute best work that you have to put it up there so you can get noticed. Because if you don't, you won't get picked. I know because I've seen directors. I've spoken to them. I've spoken to directors. I've spoken to producers who literally go on these social media accounts and they're like, hey, or they'll ask me, hey, do you know someone? Do you have a link for an artist that I can see? Because I'm looking for an artist that does this and does that and does this and does that. So you're looking for specifics, and then I sometimes I do the footwork and the groundwork myself, and I have to go hunt for some artists and send them links and say, here's this guy, here's that guy. Kevin Grievous. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yes.
He's
absolutely.
He's a good friend of mine too, and Kevin has asked me multiple times, hey Ryan, you know any artists that does this and does that? I'm like, yeah, I got this guy over here that does blah, 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 and I'll send him links. So that's probably like the easiest way to do it. The other part of that game is still you still have to put in some groundwork into it. So what I recommend a lot of young students or young people out there to do if they've never done it is get a table at a Comic-Con. You get a table at a Comic-Con, you get multiple benefits out of it. You can sell materials, so you can earn a little profit right then and there, and you also get to show your work off in front of the audience. There's an audience of people who's walking past your table, and they're going to see your stuff. And in that audience are going to be directors, producers, writers, creators, people who are looking for an artist to do this and do that. I have the amount of work that has come across my plate just from sitting at Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con or wherever, anywhere around the world. I literally just landed an Assassin's Creed job when I was in Italy. I was at a show in Italy, and they came by my table and say, hey, we like your work. We want you to be on Assassin's Creed. I'm like, okay, cool. That's how I got on the Ultimate Spider-Man. I was I was sitting at a show in Burbank, and I'm sitting there, and this guy walks by. He happens to be the top director, the top producer for this show, and he came in and he was like, "Hey, we're looking for an artist to do this and do this. I really like your work. I'm going to give you a call." We'll say, "Okay, great, thank you." Next, 3 months later, I'm working on the TV show.
Wow.
It's like that. That's how it happens. Okay, so you cannot neglect that side of the game. And some people who are scared, let me give you a really good example. I was at a show in Long Beach. I was at the Long Beach Comic Con years ago, and there was this girl sitting right next to me. And she was pretty good with her art. She had really good art, but she had one print. That's all she had. She had no books. She had nothing else but one single print
Hmm.
that was sitting there, and she was selling that print by herself, no help, nothing else, and she still made a couple $100, and this was her very first show.
Mm.
Wow.
Never been to a show ever. Made a couple $100. I think she made like 6 or 7, maybe $800 for selling one print for
Mm.
$20 each.
Wow.
Okay, but it was pretty good. It was like a Star Wars chibi type of style, kind of art that was in there. And she still made her money. So at least she made her money. Maybe she had someone walk by and say, "I really like your art. Can you work on this? Can you work on that?" So it happens.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I think I it today you're absolutely right. I use even for us indies, Kyron and I we make comics and I'm gonna look at a person's social media before anything. Anybody who reaches out to us, for me anyway, anybody who reaches out to me and says, "Hey, I want to do some art, or I'm looking for work or whatever," I'm gonna go straight to their social media wherever they're contacting me on. If they contact me on Instagram, I'm gonna check out their Instagram page.
Hmm.
So definitely got to have your best stuff up there because you only get that first impression one time. So
Mhm.
I will say though, I
Mm.
caught a live stream that you did. I want to say this was a couple of months ago where it was you and Sanford Green. Y'all were
Hmm.
talking to Kadeem Hardison.
Oh yeah.
I think Ken Lashley
Yep. Yep.
showed up there. Yeah.
Wait,
You
why didn't you
did.
show me this live stream? I wanted to be part of that.
And you, I want to say you were so fast with the art. I want to say y'all were doing a GoFundMe to help out somebody with some medical issues.
Yes.
You were taking requests right there on the spot.
Yep.
I remember I was watching the live stream because I was watching it on my phone while I was driving, which I probably shouldn't have been doing. But while I was driving, I was seeing what you were drawing, and I was like, "Yo, what is that? I can't even tell what it is." And then I went back to paying attention to the road, and when I looked back over, you had completed a whole piece of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, "What? Like, how did he?" Like, I know I haven't been driving this long for him to have completed this whole piece. And I was just listening to the conversations that y'all was having and was like, "Yo, how did he finish this? Like inked? Like I saw you with your just Sharpie, just going with it." And it's just amazing, like the speed and accuracy that you have. And I wanted to ask, like, does that come with the experience? Like, I know you've been doing comics. I know you've been drawing for over 30 years. So does that just come with the repetition? Is it muscle memory? Is it, just knowing what you want to do? How do you develop that kind of focus and speed with your art?
Confidence. So you have to develop confidence. The way how you
I don't
you
have it.
get confident.
Yeah.
I will give you the secrets right now. Okay. And then I'll blow your mind away in a minute. So the confidence comes from years and years of repetition of just basically doing it. Okay. So before I came into the comic book world, I was a fine artist. I
Hmm.
did paintings, I did airbrushing, I did sculpting. That's where my head and heart was.
Mhm.
So I had this attitude of just throw it on a page or just throw it down and just see what comes out of it. That's where my mind was when I was in my young age, in my late teens and when I was my early 20s, somewhere around there. Okay. So in time when I transitioned to comics, I started to bring a little bit of that young mind that I had, a young mentality I had, into my skills today. And after doing it for years and years and years and years and years, it got to the point where it is like muscle memory. You just kind of lay down this grid and you just kind of go. Then when I started doing live art demonstrations with Kim Jung Gi, I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Yes, I do.
Um, so when
Rest
I
in peace.
started, yeah, so yeah, rest in peace. That's my brother. So we when I started doing demonstrations with him, and I started, getting small time just to hang out and draw with him, I started looking at how he's doing it, and then I started looking at some of his videos, and I started looking at how he was doing it, and then he's teaching me certain things, and I'm like, okay, I can see how he's doing it. It's what it is basically it's a grid. You have there's a grid. Everyone uses like perspectives, or they use like some kind of grid, like a thumbnail where they scribble something down on paper. Okay, when you thumbnail or you scribble something down, that's basically just so you can establish a form or certain angles on this page before you actually go in and start doing anything. Now, what depicts or what directs those thumbnails is your fundamentals. So when you learn how to scribble so your spheres, circles, your boxes, all these triangular shapes and stuff like that. Once you start to understand that, how do I place these fundamentals, these basic primitives in this space using this rough technique, it gets to the point after you've done it for so many years, you don't have to do it anymore. It's already in your head. You see it on the page before you even touch the page. It's already there. So all you're doing is just doing the contours. Now, young people, when they're drawing, they tend to want to go straight to those contours, and they want to draw those contours first. And that's where they're shaky because they're not spending enough time on their fundamentals. If you spend more time on your fundamentals area, you spend more time on your primitives, and you lay things out, you get things right, you get the correct angles before you try to skin it with the contours. It's going to help with multiple things. It's going to help with dynamics. It's going to help with lighting, shading, form, and everything. All these details that you're trying to put in there before you actually go in and start doing it. I trust me. I've seen it a million times, and I've corrected people a million times. I teach this at the workshop. So basically, once I have that, it's just basically go. That's how I'm capable of doing those art pieces super fast. Like when I'm drawing, I can just sit down and I can just draw Batman, draw Superman, draw Wonder Woman. What? Okay, great. I'll have it done in 4 minutes, and it's fully detailed and everything because it's already there. It's in my head when she tells me, oh, I get it. All I'm doing is just thinking of the pose. Okay, so what pose is Batman going to be at? What or his headshot's going to look? Is he going to look up? Is he going to look down? Okay, it's the same primitive. I'm just changing the angle on it. Same point, same position for the eyes, the nose, everything. It doesn't change. It's just what angle is that? And then once I figure out the angle, it's just go. And then you apply lighting is another thing too. Once you apply lighting on top of it, it makes it a lot easier because now you apply the lighting, and the lighting, it takes like 50% of the work out of the way already. All you have to do is just go in and add the detail. And then usually if you look at a lot of stuff what I'm doing, I'll come back with like white, a lot of white ink. So I'll come back right there on top of that with white ink. The white ink actually just adds like highlights. It cleans up any messes I've made as I'm drawing. And it just creates this nice rough layer on top of it and makes it look really cool at the very end. So that's just basically my strategy. So here's one I'm going to blow your mind, right? Like I said, I do these pieces it takes me about an average 4 to 6 minutes to do like one of these pieces. And at a show when I was in Tokyo one time at a show. I think I did 122, I think, or something. I got
Batman heads, right?
not Batman heads. They were just random characters. I had a line of people in front of me. They were asking me draw this, draw that. I did everything from Wonder Woman to Deadpool. You know, the
Mm.
Hulk. You name it. They were. Hey, draw me Thor. Got it. Thor was done in 6 minutes. What do you draw me? What do you want? You give me Hawkeye. Hawkeye was done in 6 minutes. It was like that. They really love Spider-Man over there. So I was drawing Spider-Man a lot. And Spider-Man's like the easiest. I could do that in like maybe 3 minutes. It's like super easy.
That's amazing. I heard in that same stream, I want to say, Kadeem asked you if you knew who Deathlock was, or he was asking somebody if they knew who Deathlock was, and I was like, don't you know who you talking to, Mr. Hardy? Don't you know who you talking to, sir? But I didn't know that I didn't know that he was a big comic book fan like that.
Oh yeah, Kadeem is a hard. He's more into Marvel than anything. Like you go to his house and he'll have like Marvel stuff all over the place. He'll have like those giant statues. He'll have them. He's a big time comic book nerd, man. He's
Oh.
like seriously like one of the biggest nerds you've ever seen.
I can tell from the conversations that y'all was having. I mean, even though y'all were talking about a lot of things, but just his his knowledge on like comic book stuff was. I was like, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that we had celebrities who love the same kind of stuff we do. It's always awesome to hear.
And he's older than me, and he still plays video games.
Because that's wrong with video games.
I didn't know wrong with like the game. I mean, that's our generation. That's what we grew up with. We grew up with the PlayStation 1 and all that stuff. So that's what we did. We played a lot of games back then. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Well, I do want to talk about your Comic Pro Bootcamp because you were going over a lot of the things that I'm assuming are things that you would teach at your boot camp. What else can people maybe find if they sign up for it?
And is it still virtual?
Is it still what?
Is it still virtual?
Yeah, yes, it is. So we started off as an in-person workshop, but COVID shut that down quickly. And then we switched over to the virtual platform. So basically, you join the class, you get to learn from me, you learn from Will Portasio, you learn from Carlos Yanda and Alex Sinclair. So all four of us teach at Comic Pro Bootcamp. And we have a variety of classes. We teach everything from how to draw covers, how to work on your anatomy. We teach basics, intermediate and advanced students. We teach everything from lighting, rendering, storytelling, just putting it all together and getting your comics ready to a professional level. And we're still learning as we're going. So we're actually we're making small changes every single time. And because we have like internal meetings and we're expanding, we have assistants that's on there with us that help us out with a lot of stuff. But we're actually getting ready to get back into the in-person workshops. So at the end of this year, we're looking to get back into this. So we're gonna have it like we're gonna have the first in-person workshop probably in LA. And then and all you do is sign up. You show up at the workshop, and it's 3 days of you sitting for a long time. This is beyond college now. So the way how we do is we treat it as though like Marvel or DC hired you to produce a piece of work, and we're there to coach you as you're producing it. So you're getting it from people who actually work from these who actually works in the industry, who's worked with these studios, who's currently still work with these studios, and still do a lot of stuff. So all of us, all four of us, still work in comics. We still do a little bit of everything from, you name it, covers. Well, I think Will's just finished doing a run on X-Men. I think it was.
Yeah, X-Men Legends. He did.
Yeah. So
we're gonna have to have Danny. We're gonna have to have Willis on our show one day. I have this cool story about him. When I was actually cool enough to had a table right across the way from him at a comic convention. But we have a question here in the audience. What if I have literally no sorry, what if I have literally -0 drawing skills, like antimatter level drawing skills? Would I still be effective in this class, or sad and laugh worthy?
-0. I've never seen that before. I think that's a personal critique. Um, I don't think you have -0. This is all right. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of this. I believe every single one of us on this planet, everyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care what industry you work in. I don't care where your background is, what country you're from. Every single one of us on this planet, we are all creative. We all have the that seed, that potential to be a great artist. We all have it. Okay, and this is how I try to explain it to people. Two ways. If you look at a baby, babies dance when you play music. Who taught that baby how to dance? That baby's expressing himself. That's a very, very, very basic form of creative expression. Just doing. No restrictions, no holding me back. Just go. Okay. That's a very, very basic form of it. When the kids dance, they play, and they laugh, and they sing. That's very, very basic. Okay. Here's another way. Here's a grown-up version of it. If you go to a store and you have some money in your pocket and you're gonna go buy yourself some new clothes, you buy yourself some new shoes, new pants, new shirt, new hat, new jacket, whatever. You put it together. You like, this is fresh. This is cool. I like it. You buy it. You walk out the store and you go home, right? And you wear this all day, all week. That right there is another basic form of creation, of being creative. You didn't design the jacket, but you saw the jacket and you decided that jacket goes great with that shirt, goes great with those pants, goes great with those shoes. You put it all together. That's the basic form of concepting. When you're concepting, when you're working at a studio and you have to concept a character, they're like, okay, we need a character, and in your mind there's a blank model. Now you have to design that character. That character is going to look fresh if I make his arms do this. Okay, great. Now let me make that arm, put a jacket on those arms, or let me put some tattoos on those arms. No, I don't like it. Let me put some armor on those arms. No, I don't like that. Let me put just a giant glove on this arm. You're literally doing the same thing what you're doing at the store, but you're doing it slightly different. It's the same thing. Okay. So we all have that creative seed inside of us. We just have to water it and nurture it and just take it to the next level. Okay. Some of us get distracted. Most of us, I would say, most of us get distracted. We have life, we have things we deal with, we have family, we have bills, we got to eat, we got to go travel on vacation. There's so much stuff that goes on that distracts us, and especially nowadays, the way how politics goes on today in the world. Politics distracts people like super crazy all the time. So this is, you have to find a way out of those distractions and get back to the art table. Stay focused on what you're trying to do. When I'm traveling, when I'm going places, what am I traveling and going places with? My art. When I'm going to my brother's house, I'm taking my art with me. I'm going to the park with my kids. I'm taking my art with me. I go to church. I'm taking my art with me. I'm going to the movie theater. I'm taking my art with me. I'm dead serious. I'm serious. You got to do what you got to do. So well, I should do this when I was in high school. We would go on field trips. I was the dude in the bus with my drawing pad, sketching in the back, and everyone's looking at me while I'm sketching, going on a field trip to Disneyland or wherever we're going. So it's like stuff like that. You just have to get into that work habit of, I just need to draw. I need to express. I need to push myself. You have to do that. And I think that's what fed me into being the type of, or fed, it feeds a lot of us, a lot of professional artists into that mindset. Well, I need to keep working and keep working and keep working and keep working, where you're drawing till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Okay. And then as I got older, that's when I realized that, okay, it's time for me to shift gears. I don't want to, because that strategy is not working with me health wise. So I need to change strategies and get more sleep and because I want to be able to draw for an extra 5 years. I don't want to just drop dead one day. When I'm at my art table, which most likely is that's going to happen. I don't
Especially
want
We
to
don't
get
want that.
morbid.
We don't want that.
I don't want to get morbid, but honestly, I tell people all the time, when you bury me, just bury me with my pencil and my drawing pad, because it's coming with me.
Right. What you just said reminded me of something I heard Jerry Seinfeld say recently. He said that he's always, thinking of jokes, no matter
Yep.
where he is, he's always writing material. If he's with his family, if he's at a barbecue, if he's, on a bus, he's always thinking, can I use this for, material? So I think that's maybe that's an innate, thing that artists have. You always have the desire to create and learn and grow in that. One more comment before we gotta go. Nicholas Garza says, as you know, Kyrun just turned 72 years old. So
Damn
do
it.
you
No.
think us older unknown artists can still get noticed by the big two? Does age matter when breaking in?
Absolutely not. It does not matter. You art when I'm 97 years old, I'm still going to be learning some new techniques and new strategy. Why? Because that's years from now. Now we're talking about a different group of people that I'm going to be entertaining, a group of people, different people that's not even existing today that I have to entertain. So that means I have to find a new strategy, a new platform, a new blah blah blah, whatever it is, to shift gears and entertain this brand new batch of people that I'm at 97 trying to learn these guys. Okay, that's me trying to stay relevant. Okay, now you don't necessarily have to stay relevant. I would say do it because that's what feeds you. That's what keeps you alive. That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps your creativity, on point. But if you feel more comfortable getting into the mindset of I only want to draw in one style, one technique, and I'm not going to shift, that's okay too. I mean, except that's what you want to do, but you're limiting yourself.
Mhm.
So at any age, you will have the ability, or you have the chance to get plugged in. And that's why I say comics is like the medium, because with the medium, you can start on it at 7 years old and you can start on it at 88. It doesn't matter what age you are at you're getting started with it, because it is like it's just there. All you have to do is just start doing it. Take advantage of it and start doing it. Go in that direction, and don't let anyone tell you your don't let any negative comments slow you down or take the ability away from you. When someone tells me something negative or something, I use that as something positive, like, oh, you're pointing something wrong to me, you're pointing something to me to where I'm going wrong. That means I need to fix it. So I humble myself. I don't argue it out. I don't try to prove my point. I just say thank you for the information, and I go sit at my table and I push myself, because I'm thinking I need to correct these things, because I don't want people. It's not I don't want to. I don't mind being critiqued, but I, as an artist, as a human being, as an entity living on this planet, as a soul, as a being, I need to be able to express. And I think the love for expression and the love for just being and just doing is what drives this. And I need to feed that love all the time. So whenever I get information is energy. So when I get information, I just bring it into my world, see where I dissect it, see where it can fit, and I plug it in and I keep going. And that's literally how I do things. And that's how I am capable of drawing in like multiple styles. I can draw the Jim Lee style. I can draw the Sean Galloway style. I can switch and draw like an anime manga style. I can do that. It's something I've done. I've been able to do. And I think it is stemming from my upbringing, from my young childhood. But it's also part of the art medium. That's what art is. Art is never ending, never stopping, never learning, never evolving. It's always changing. Look at AI today. People are using AI all the time. There's AI art, and they're producing and doing this and doing it, and they're showing it off on their page. Hey, look at the stuff I'm doing. It's all over Discord. So
Mhm.
people are using this stuff here today. And the technology is not going to change. The technology is only going to it's not going to stop. It's going to keep changing. It's going to keep evolving. So you have to evolve with it. So if you want to stay relevant and you want people to notice you, you have to understand the technology, understand what you're working with, understand the medium, understand your audience. And once you figure that side of it out, then you'll be able to like, okay, I think I know where I need to plug myself in. I know where I need to go. How am I going to do this? And you just basically jump in. Don't be afraid to fail because you learn from failure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kyron, you ready for
Yeah.
quick takes?
Yeah. You want to prep him on what it is?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Okay.
if you've never seen the show before, quick takes is a rapid fire. I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that, Kyron. I knew you were going to do that. This is why I quit the show so often.
Oh,
Quick takes is a rapid fire Q&A session with our guests where we give you 45 seconds to answer 5 questions off the top of your head. I've been following you for a while, so there's just some
stalking. You've been stalking him for a
it's
while.
not stalking, it's stalking.
It's stalking.
Social media is free and it's open to the public, so it's not stalking. But just some quick questions for us to get to know you a little better. So this first one, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it out of the way because it's one that I ask a lot of artists and creators. But I don't know when's the last time you went to a smaller show, but which one do you prefer, bigger cons or smaller shows, and why?
Oh man, I have been to multiple small shows. Probably the last one I went to was one in Canada. It was pretty small. I mean, you walked in, there was probably 15 people, 15 artists, and now and then the audience was even smaller. And I'm getting ready to go to another show in June. I can't remember the name of them. I have to look on my agenda. But I honestly I don't mind going to small shows, but I kind of prefer going to bigger shows because you get like you get to see a lot more people and you get bigger impact.
Yep, solid answer. I love it. Okay, question number 2. So I know we just talked about you love the process.
Are we just going to walk around the fact that he's like, I just went to Canada and
Oh.
I just got invited to Canada, like nothing, just nothing.
We already know
three times.
He's been flexing the whole show, and that's perfectly
seriously.
fine. We love it. Question number 2. We talked about how you love learning new things, and I've seen you on with David Finch, and and we also talked about how you love teaching. But I want to know, if you can only do one for the rest of your life, would you want to continue learning, or would you want to take all the information you have and teach it to the next generation?
Teach. Learning will never stop. No matter what I do, I can sit in the corner and do absolutely nothing. I'm still going to learn something. Teaching is you have to put in the effort to do this, and I realize that I have a passion to teach. So this is something that I'm going to pursue, and I'm going to keep pursuing this for forever. So there's a lot of young, hungry people out there, and art never stops. And I'm going to learn as much as I can as I'm going, and I'm going to share it as much as I can. So is there any young students out there that want to join Comic Pro Bootcamp? That's what you want to do.
There we go. I love it. Okay. This next question might get you in a little bit of trouble, but we're gonna go for it anyway. Question number 3: why are dogs better than cats?
Okay.
Hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. Well, I am a dog person. Okay. I grew up with multiple dogs, probably close to 300 dogs. in
Oh, wow.
my lifetime, my early life, I grew up with. And it's all because of my dad. My dad just loves dogs. Never got cats. Just never grew up with them. The last cat I had. Oh man, should I tell the story? It was all right.
Got 10 seconds.
I scared the cat because it was eating my tuna fish sandwich, and then it never came back home, and that was the last cat I ever seen in my life.
Oh, so dogs are like family. Cats, they're not even worth feeding. Okay.
I was a teenager. I was like 15 at the time. You know, I was just like, you're eating my tuna sandwich. Like, get away.
Oh, that's the best. Okay. Question number 4. If you could go back in time and talk to younger Ryan, what one tip would you give younger Ryan?
Okay, so the one tip I would give myself is okay, so knowing myself and seeing where the shakiness where I'm at, it, I would probably push myself to do what I teach basically, which is stick to your fundamentals more, because I felt like I was struggling trying to figure that side of it out, and it also forced me into a corner where I didn't really understand what I was drawing, and I didn't have respect for certain art styles, like the cartoony art styles. Once I started to learn the the cartoony styles, that's what made me think fundamentals. I got to stick to my fundamentals.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
The fundamentals. I was learning. I'm a writer. But I love to learn each part of the process of creating comics.
Well, don't
And
disparage
so,
yourself. You're also a letterer and a colorist.
Oh, yeah.
I like I said, I'd like to learn each part of the process so I can, empathize and know, what it takes to do these things. But Wally McNair, he was teaching me, on a weekly show for a while, and that's one of the things that he pushed is, sticking to your fundamentals. So absolutely. Last question.
It's a hard one.
So yeah, I I was watching that. I remember watching that live show, and y'all were talking about top 10 rappers, and I heard everybody else's list, but I didn't hear yours. So I want to know your top 5 rappers. No particular order, but your top 5 rappers of all time.
Oh man. Okay, 45 seconds. Okay.
On the clock.
Man, Most Def, Talib, because they go together.
Okay.
Common,
Okay.
Buster.
Buster.
I kind of want to put Dre in there, but Dre doesn't really rap. He's like more a producer.
Now Daisy.
Man, how long do I have?
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yeah, one more.
Oh man. I can't want to say Eminem, but
I'll take it.
I'll
take it.
No, he's in there.
All right. There's a couple more. I
caught in there.
Rakim, Eric B.
No. Time's up. You can't add anymore.
Come on now. Oh man. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I think there's one more too. I just what's his name? It's been a while since he got those pretty eyes too.
Jay-Z?
No, not Jay-Z. Well, Jay-Z's dope, but not Jay-Z. I'm talking about like this is mid 90s when he was hot. What is his name? I'm a 90s type of rapper. That's where my heart and soul was born, and that's where rap left me, was like the early 2000s.
Did I miss anything? Any mention of like a Biggie or Tupac or
Biggie's dope, Tupac's dope, but I think the beef between them kind of threw me off from rap a little bit, But Biggie was like on point, man. He's definitely there.
All right. Well, that was Danny's Quick Takes. I don't know if are we sponsored this week for your Quick Takes, Danny?
This week sponsored by Flawed from Image Comics.
Are we really? Because
great. No, we're not. Not
Okay.
really, but I've been reading it and I like it a lot. So,
All right.
uh,
All right, well, Ryan, we have a couple of audience questions here. First one here is from our TikTok audience. He says, is this
Chandar
Chandar
Will.
Wilson says, Ryan, any plans for a Vanguard or Phantom Guard reboot?
Man, that's one of the things I mentioned earlier. I've been trying to get Sean
Mm-hmm.
to let's launch it, but I think it's pretty much dead. The reason why is because we don't own the IP anymore.
Mm.
It was sucked into the DC world and is sitting in a DC vault
Oh, was that part of the
somewhere.
whole Wildstorm
Yeah,
buyout? Oh,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we don't own the IP for that anymore. So
Okay.
I was talking to him about it, and the only way to do that is um basically if there's an audience for it. If there's an audience, if like people are like crying out for it, that will create like the drive to get that thing going. But we just haven't had it. So
All right. One last audience question from Morgan Iverson. Why is Duke better than UNC?
oh my god.
It's not.
Oh.
Can you delete Morgan from the comments? I
I
know
cannot delete Morgan. That's your best friend. I'm not going to delete him from the comments.
not making comments like that. I don't claim him. I don't claim him.
Oh
Okay.
man, I'm mum on that one. Mum's
Oh,
word.
okay. All right. Well, I
Mum's
think
word
that's
on
the
that.
last one that we have. But this has been fun, Ryan. This is our time for you, though, to do any type of plug. So if you want to maybe talk about where people can look at your work or reach out to you on social media, this is the best time to do that. So if you want to go ahead and do that, feel free to.
All right. So the absolute best way to reach me on social media is through Instagram. Just DM me through Instagram. My handle is at Ryan BNJMN. You can reach me there. I also have that same handle is basically for all my social medias, which I do have a Facebook, but I'm never on there. You can also reach me through LinkedIn. You can reach me through a whole bunch of other stuff.
I can
But
concur on that because I messaged him through Facebook a bunch and he didn't reply, but Instagram was like instantaneous. So.
instantly, exactly. If you reach out to me on Facebook, just get ready to get a message in 6 months because I'm never on there. I'm never on Facebook. Um, but I don't know why it's still there, just active. But basically, um, I recently started whatnot uh, profile. So I have that coming. I'm going to be doing some live whatnot uh, um, art demonstrations and auctions and stuff like that. So I'm going to be selling a lot of pages on there, a lot of original Batman, original
Oh wow.
whatever covers I have, a lot of commissions and stuff like that, just like pieces that I've been working on. So I'm going to be selling a lot of stuff. And so follow
Man.
me on whatnot, and you will get a hold of me there also. Stuff I'm working on right now that I can talk about. So some of them I can't, some of them I can. So Stanley Genesis is one of them. So I'm working on that's a board game that I'm working with Power Entertainment and Rocket Ship Entertainment to produce this game. We're getting ready to launch the Kickstarter for it this summer. There's 200 brand new characters that no one has ever seen before. I designed all 200 of them.
Mm.
I did the visuals for all 200 of them, and
He
so
did all 200 while he was at church. My understanding is.
and, and I created some of them. But this project started off with Stan Lee. So Stan Lee actually, this was one of his brainchilds that he was working with Tom Akel, and Stan passed. He never had a chance to finish working on it, but it was his take on like what if he had to redesign the Marvel universe, kind of like that direction, and he never finished it off. So his co-creator partnered with me, and we put our heads together and we finished it off for him. So the board game is going to be coming out. Was the launch of the Kickstarter for that soon. So you can follow me there, and you'll see a lot of my announcements for that. Also, you can go to Stanley Genesis. I think it's StanleyGenesis.com or thegame.com. I can't remember. what the URLs. But just Google it, you'll find it, and it's out there. Also, I am, Comic Pro Bootcamp, which I mentioned before. This is an ongoing workshop where I'm going to be teaching nonstop. Well, nonstop. We do take breaks, but we are going to be teaching comics there. So if you want to learn how to draw professional comics, from me, Will Sportasio, Carlos Gana, and Alex St. Clair, we teach everything from pencils, inking, the coloring, the layouts, everything. So if you want to learn that, you can come check us out there, and you get improve your skills there. And I'm also working on an Assassin's Creed comic. That's not just me; it's a couple of the people. Actually, there's a Kickstarter for it running that's alive right now. So you can go to Kickstarter. You can look at Assassin's Creed. Look up Assassin's Creed, and you'll see it. It's probably the first one that's going to pop up. Where it's live right now. It's 15 days, I think, or 16 days into the campaign. I'm not in charge of it. There's a company in Germany or Italy. I can't remember where they're at, but they're in charge of that campaign. I think they're in Canada. I honestly don't remember. But they're there, and they're going to be so if you want to back it, I'm not the only artist. There's multiple artists on it. I'm only doing a short story that's in there. So I'm doing everything from pencils, inks, and the colors. So you get to see 100% of me on this one here. So you guys can go check that one out too, and help support that campaign. And also, what else am I doing? I'm working on right now. There's others I'm working on. I'm still planning to finish off the Brothers Bond series, which I'm still working on that. And there's a couple other new projects that I'm working on that I can't really talk about yet. That's coming. So
I mean, you could talk about them if you want.
So feel free to drop anything.
I can, but I can't. I don't want to spill the beans too early yet.
No problem. Next time.
Next time.
All right. Well, Danny, where can people find your work?
First of all, I want to thank you for coming, Mr. Benjamin. Lednito on TikTok says he's a huge fan of yours, and he wants to sign up for your boot camp. So shout out to Lednito. You can find me at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms, and our website, fourthwallpros.com. Kyrun, where can people find you?
You can find me at tauruscomics.com, and you can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, TikTok also. How you doing, TikTok? At Taurus Comics. And if this is your first time checking out our podcast, you can go to our website, fourtailspodcast.com, check out all our past episodes, and see who's coming up. Like next week, we're going to have Dinesh Shamdasani from Bad Idea Comics. He's going to be on the line talking about the publishing side of comic books and how that started. But this has been fun, and I'm going to sign off. So if you don't, all right, Morgan wants you to plug our Kickstarter, so please plug that real quick. I don't want to get beat up by Morgan, so
we don't want to get beat up. So yes, we do have Battle of the Black Rose and Harlem's Renaissance, the double feature Kickstarter coming, hopefully May 5th, drawn by the illustrious Kyrun Silva, Battle of the Black Roses, and this way. And we're really excited about it. We got some hilarious videos coming up to promote it, but of course.
That I'm not part of any of those. I don't see why I can't.
We got a part for you. Don't worry about that. We got parts for you. But I'll drop the link in the comments, and we appreciate y'all for sure.
All right. So everybody, thank you. Sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.